Greetings, Tenno. Welcome to a tutorial that I've decided to put through here for Warframe. I noticed there were a lot of people really liking the small and basic fishing tutorial that I did. So I thought I'd go ahead and make maybe a small series. I wrote down some notes and thought maybe we can get through this and maybe I can get this edited good and we'll have a good series and maybe a discussion on this. Obviously if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I will answer them and just try to do the best I can to make sure everybody gets what they're looking for. This is played for the Xbox One, so these particular tips, they may be universal for the game on PC and on other platforms, but I can only, if I tell you like click your right stick or, use your Y button, obviously PS4 is not going to have a Y button. But alright, so let's get started. So the first thing I want to cover here in this tutorial series is Freeplay. Now, I know this game is free. A lot of people, including myself, play it as a free game. I really don't see a need for actually putting money into it, being so I can get to pretty much everything I want without putting any money into it. However, there's people that don't have a lot of time, which I'm not saying I have, an abundant amount of time, but to me, it makes me feel like I've earned it more than I've just paid for something. And that's how I feel about all free games. So there are occasions where I will put money into a game. This particular game is not one of those occasions. Okay, so playing for free basically means that you downloaded it, you've got basics, you're given a choice of 3 Warframes. You start out with, I chose the Excalibur Warframe. There was a Mag and an Oberon that I could have chosen. And technically you can find pieces to build just about every Warframe. I think I've actually almost had all the pieces to build a Mag before, but I haven't built it yet. I also haven't built an Oberon, but I have some pieces for it as well. Really the only one I haven't seen is Excalibur. For some strange reason I just never see the build for it or the blueprints or the pieces, so I guess it's kind of a one shot, I guess. Let's see. So the first thing you need to know when you're playing for free once you get in here is the currency system. This game uses what they call platinum, and that can be purchased, but you start off with 50 platinum to begin with. Okay, so the platinum is going to come in handy for upgrading different things, and that 50 that you first get, you can't trade it. This game does have a trading platform, and you can't trade it at all. You can't trade it between friends. You can't really buy anything with it, and if you go to the trade chat, like if somebody's selling something, which because I said this game does have trade chat, have a trade option, you can't trade with it. That's that first 50 anyway. If you actually put money into it, you can then do it, but for the most part, you just can't. This really just starting out, if you're going to keep your game for free and not have to buy anything, the one thing you want to focus on with your platinum, this is your Warframes. When you start off, you've got your 1 Warframe and then you have 2 extra slots. So you start with 3. 20 platinum a piece right here. If you hit that, purchase 1 Warframe slot for 20, yes or no? It will want you to purchase them. What I would recommend with that 50, because it's in no other way can you get these slots other than the only other thing I've seen that will give you a slot is if you signed up for like Twitch Prime and did their trial. Unfortunately, I was not able to do that because in order to get that whole trial, you would have to actually do Amazon Prime for a month of trial as well. I've used my Amazon Prime before a long time ago, and I was not eligible to take advantage of that. My son, however, was, and got a free slot and a free Warframe. Anyway, you're going to want to use at least 40 of that to buy 2 more slots of this. because that is the only way you're going to be getting more than 3 Warframes. And if you're anything like me and you like to have variety, you're going to want to open them up. Now, the other thing you could use them for are weapon slots, because you are limited to how many weapons you actually can hold. And like you see here, I have several. I did buy 1 slot for these, which I believe they give you 2. Yeah, I spent that to get more weapon slots because I like to build stuff. I like to tinker. And I basically had too many weapons. Now, some things I like to hold on to because I like to use. Some things were given to me as gifts. I'm really going to have to knuckle down here and pay attention to what I want or don't like. And you start getting rid of some stuff. But yeah, 2 of these I bought. And you may be looking at this going, but wait a minute. You have a lot more than that. Well, the reason is, these 3, the Dexadacra, Dex Sibaris, and the Dex Furus, those were actually like a holiday gift type thing that they did, and I forget what month it was, but those were a gift from the Lotus, which is your boss there, your lady that's always talking to you. Those were given to me, and being how they were given to me, the slots that they're on came with them. Now, as you beat the game, this sword, the Broken War, was something I earned by defeating somebody. It also came with a slot. This Broken Scepter was a weapon that I earned by beating a guy. It also came with a slot. And the reason why I know it came with a slot was because I was completely full, and it gave them to me. And as I was doing the math, I went, wait a minute, it added a slot. So things like that will actually give you extra slots. These 2 right here, I know should at least give you slots. If you go through and beat the levels. Things like this that are given as gifts should also give you a slot. I want to say there was another weapon I was given as well that was a slot. I think it's this guy right here, this Vectus. I think that's the newest one I've gotten. It also gave me a slot. So I've been playing this for a year. Throughout the course of a year, I've gotten several free weapon slots. However, I have not gotten any free Warframe slots. So, the platinum definitely needs to be spent here. Okay, now you do have these Sentinel guys, but as you can see, there's tons of open slots. Well, the Sentinels and their weapons count for a slot, so they give you some extra there. This is the only one I have. It's the only one I've ever built, so been playing for a year, and that's all I got. And you got other things, but honestly, those are the only things you're going to need platinum for. So, other things you could possibly use platinum for are you can speed up like builds that you're doing, which to me that's a waste because you're just throwing it away to get an item that you would have gotten within a few minutes anyway. You can also go to the market, and sometimes they have very nice things on here for the price. Like I say that I could spend 190, which I'm never gonna have that much money. What I like though is if you notice this particular throwing weapon, if you hit your right bumper, you can buy the blueprint for 20,000 credits, which I can totally do. Let's see. Yeah, see, my price is going to be 15. Then I can go ahead and just buy it. Not sure if I own it already. Nope, I don't. It says one owned. So, you can just do things like that. And sometimes they actually do have some stuff that's like one credit, but the majority of the time I won't come in here and buy weapons because I can always find them other places. But that's pretty much the free side of this. I guess the premium side of this. The only thing I would really spend platinum on, like I said, are those slots for the Warframes. They are one thing you can't buy anywhere else, or can't be gifted or achieved anywhere else. So with this game also being free, if you're gonna stay and make it a free free game and you're going to work at it, the second big thing you're going to want to learn about is the trading system. You know, I already went over, you can't trade the first 50 plat that you get. The only things you can trade, and this game is kind of limited with that, because you can't trade resources. You can trade prime parts, which are Warframes that are better quality. They're the same Warframes that you can pick up as like a lesser or just a normal version, but the prime ones, they come with, they're a little more beefed up, and basically they're like the end game. They're what you want to work for. So you can trade prime parts. You can trade platinum just straight across the board. You can trade mods, and you can trade artifacts. And I want to say you can also trade Iatan treasures, which, if you're looking at my screen there, I've got 2 of them sitting on my console. I'm sure everybody's like, what are those things that are moving around? They got the ones look like a boot with wings on the right, and then the one with the kind of circular discs that are moving back and forth. Those basically, you find those in levels. You can also get them for one particular level, where you go through and you have to like navigate an obstacle course in order to get them. They are mainly used just to sell, but a lot of players will collect them because honestly there are better ways to make credits and what they call endo. Now this game does have several different what I would call currencies, although endo is more like a resource than a currency. It is used to upgrade your modification slots on your weapons and your armor, but I will go into that more in another video. Another thing to note on trading with the primes, basically you have a couple of things that I'll go into on the crafting video I'm going to make, but you have the blueprints to make things, and you have the part itself. In the trading section, a lot of pieces can only be traded to blueprints. If you build the piece, it will not trade. Sometimes though, you can build the piece and it will trade, but if you're going to wind up trading something anyway, I recommend not building it. It takes a lot of grinding to get resources, and if you're going to wind up selling it anyway, you can put your grind to better use. So yeah, hold on to blueprints unless you're actually going to build the item. I would honestly recommend not building the item until you have all the blueprints for it, because you may change your mind down the road. Artifacts as well. If you're going to wind up trading those, I probably wouldn't upgrade those. Okay, so in order to do trading with everybody here, there's 2 places you can go. You can go to your dojo if you have a clan, or in this case, if you're just starting out and doing whatever, you need to actually unlock Mars and go to Maru's Bazaar. And obviously you're going to want to choose a busy one if you're wanting to sell or buy, so that way you have more people to interact with. Okay, so trading is going to get you the extra little bits that you want and still keep this game for free. You'll notice right away that you start getting chat for local area. There is a trade chat that is constantly going throughout every part of this game, which you can listen to while you're in your ship as well. If you just hit your left trigger and then use your bumpers to change. This is the trade chat right here. And once you start learning the lingo, you'll understand what they're selling. Willing to sell, willing to buy, or want to buy, want to sell, WTS, WTB, and that's common for all games. People buy, say, Loki set 500p, means he has all the pieces to the Loki Warframe, and he's going to sell it all for 500. And like I said, you gotta have all the pieces in order to, or you can only trade the pieces. You can't trade the actual suit built. Okay, so if you're coming around and just wanting to find just random pieces, you could ask on the trade chat, or if you come in here once everybody loads, you get a little bit of lag here, but you'll notice everybody puts their hand up in the air and then it looks like they've got little things above their head that's little icons showing what they have for sale. You can go through, like this guy looks like he has kind of a collection of things. This guy's selling Ash Prime, pistol ribbon, melee ribbon, shotgun ribbon.
Hey, came to trade, or did you find some Iatan treasures you want endo from?
No. Being out, if you're just first starting out, there's going to be no way that you can trade with these people, unless they're wanting to trade for something, like a piece or like a mod. There's no way that you're going to be able to trade with them because you can't trade that 50 plat that you have. So this is going to be a little farther down the road, but once you start getting pieces, what you can do too to actually trade is if you use your directional to go down so that you open up your items, what they call your gear. You also get this set of, emotes. It's basically like you're trying to emote, and that's where you get up in the top right there. It says set up shop. You hit your Y button, and what that'll do is that'll open this up to where you can hit your A, go through your list here. It'll only show things that you actually can trade for. So a good way to know is if you come over here and say, oh, okay, prime. You'll notice all these are blueprints. And that I didn't know was a prime. So yeah, I learned something today. Let's see, crafting components. You do have some in here. You'll notice like that prime stock, the bursting receiver stock, some handles, some blades. These things actually don't have blueprints, and that's why they're letting you trade the piece. So you may be able to sell some of those as well. Although I didn't realize that was actually in there too, but you could do that. You can do mods. And I have several. Yeah, the mods don't have to be anything special. You can actually trade like basic ones. It's one of the few things that will let you trade that are basic. And so once you pick out something, you'll notice your hand will go up and your guy will stand there like he's, I don't know, advertising an underarm deodorant commercial. That's what I call it. But yeah, and then it'll have a list of whatever. And basically you're going to stand in here and wait for somebody to come over and check out what you have for sale and buy it off of you. This is very tedious. It takes a lot of time to do, and I don't necessarily recommend it unless, you've got a lot of time you want to spend doing this, because the majority of people that are wanting things, they'll wait on the chat. So, but there still are people, like if you're just happen to be over here and you're like, ooh, I wonder if I can find somebody that has something. He looks like he's got all the Cerno pieces, so he may be in here and actually advertising on chat that he has them. And if you're walking around and wondering how to get your hand down, just use your down directional again to open up your emotes. Hit your Y button to close shop, and that'll take your hand down. Otherwise, you're walking around like an idiot with your hand up in the air for the rest of the time you're on. Alright, so I think that covers the platinum currency pretty well. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of the bazaar. This is the best. Just hit your menu button and hit just leave. That's the only way to get off the relays that are like that. And then you do this little loading thing back to your ship. So yeah, we'll see in editing. Anyway, I just covered over the premium part of this and how you can not necessarily get around it, because I'm not out to tell anybody, hey, you can't put money into this game, or there's no tricks to it. It's just that is the basic layout and what I would use my platinum on, and anyway, to keep the game free for myself. Anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and hit a like, subscribe to my channel. I will be coming out with more. Leave me some comments if there's something that maybe that I just brushed on. If I don't plan on putting it in a video, I might take the comment and be like, hey, wait a minute, I need to put that in. But yeah, comments are definitely welcome. I do know that, you know, I do try to keep these basic. These are for people that haven't spent as much time in this game or are trying to figure out, hey, you know, I'm new to the game. Why does this do this? How can I keep, you know, playing this without putting money in? Is it, you know, pay to win or etc.? And I do hope this is helpful for somebody. But anyway, I do thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a good day.